God blessings everybody, this is the Gaming Christian with yet again another video. In this time I'm going to show you my Xbox 360 collection. I've already uploaded a couple of my videos about my video game collection. And since I got so many video games, I can't put them all in one video. I mean, the PlayStation 2 alone was already almost an hour. My PC collection alone was almost an hour. So, of course, some of my some of my games from a certain system, I have so much games with, and the Xbox 360, I have a lot of games for the Xbox 360, not as much as PlayStation 3, PC, and PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1, whatever, you know, like I've already showed you in my last, collection videos, but I still have a lot, so much, though, that I can show you it in, a video with more collections of more game systems. So, I'm going to show you, I'm just going to do this in one video like the title is saying. So, the first game, we're going to do them alphabetically. The first game on the list is Alan Wake, of course for the Xbox 360. I really like this game, I really enjoyed myself, and it is really a pretty good game. I would say it's a pretty scary game, it has a pretty interesting story. It really has a weird ending. It has a great single player. It's a really story-based game, and it really plays great. It was fun. So yeah, this is Alan Wake. Next game is a game that I personally don't like, but it's technically good. Like I said in my last videos, if you watch the full thing, I said that I was never good. I said that I wasn't going to say technically most of the time, because something that's technically good doesn't have to be liked. But, with Assassin's Creed it totally is. I seriously don't like this game. There was no fun to be had for me personally, and the game was, for my taste, repetitive. I mean, if you liked it, that's great. A lot of people liked Assassin's Creed, but personally I think it was a little bit too repetitive. All you do is climb. Sometimes you need to find these flags, but these flags, the collectibles aren't really, around the corner. I only found a few. Maybe that happened to a lot of people. But yeah, this game is technically fantastic. I mean, great presentation, and the whole climbing thing is done pretty well. So, Assassin's Creed. Next up is Batman Arkham Asylum. I seriously enjoyed this game. What I like to do in a vacation is just play video games. That's my way of having a relaxed vacation. Playing video games constantly, especially fun video games like this one. This is also a technically good video game, and I really enjoyed myself with this game. You got so many things to collect, you got fun levels, great fighting system, which is also pretty good, and it has a good atmosphere in it, this is maybe one of the best Batman games ever created. Just like Arkham City, I've already showed you my PlayStation 3 collection with Arkham City, but this game is not as good, but since this is the first one, it's a really great game. And it really plays great, and it looks pretty great too. I've seen better looking games, but still, this game is actually pretty good. And Batman is one of my all-time favorite superheroes. I have nothing too much with superheroes. I have a lot with, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when I was a kid, but Batman Arkham Asylum, if I have to choose a superhero that works alone, or that has a sidekick, then I would say Batman Arkham Asylum. Batman comes close. And Batman Arkham Asylum was really a lot of fun. I played this game like in 3 days or 4 days in that vacation. Yeah, I played so much with that game. I really love it. Next up is BioShock. Yes! Another game that I personally like, and that's technically great. I seriously finished this game like twice. Once on easy and once on normal. Oh, this game, my gosh, people. This game, I had so much fun with this game, and not only does it look great, it's a pretty early Xbox 360 title, and I'm not talking about the beginning, but maybe a few years after that. And I bought this game with my Xbox 360, and I was not disappointed. I've already showed you Part 2 in my PlayStation 3 collection thing. I didn't like it as much as I did Part 1, but Part 2 is just as addictive, and Part 1 is... Oh my gosh, this game is so much fun. I really enjoyed myself. And the whole atmosphere and the world you walk in, it really set a it really set a, how do you say that in English when you do something revolutionary? I think BioShock did something revolutionary too, in gameplay and in world and in the whole atmosphere. That's why I like BioShock. Another game that I personally don't like, but who is technically pretty good, is Colin McRae Dirt 2. This game is technically fantastic. It looks great for its time. It plays great. But I just don't like the game. It's, well, you know, like I said, I haven't played the game yet, like most of my race games in my collection. So I should give this game a try nowadays, because I really was planning, maybe I should give it a try. But I'm not so sure if I'm going to like it. I don't think I'm going to like it too long. Maybe I will like it, who could say. But I'm not a really huge fan of realistic racing games, and Dirt 2 is a pretty realistic racing game. It really goes fast, and the graphics are great. Presentation is fantastic. So yeah, the game is really great to have. It's technically fantastic, but not a huge favorite of mine. Yeah. Next up is a game that's another questionable game to have as a Christian. It's Condemned, the first one. I really think this is a great game. It is a horror game. It is a survival horror, and I've finished it. Yeah, technically speaking, it's better than... I liked it, but I'm not going to play this game for a second time. It's really not that fun. I like Part 2 a lot better. I just finished Part 2, and when I showed you the collection of the PlayStation 3, I haven't finished it. Now I did. Now I have finished it. And yeah, it's a lot more fun than this one. But this one is, you know, okay, you know. But technically speaking, a lot better. Next up is a game that is... I've talked about Edge making a book. I'm going to show you this book in another video I'm going to make in the future. With the top 100 best games ever. And this game was on number 100 or 99. I think Psychonauts was on number 99. But this game was also in the top 100 best games ever. And I do disagree because... you have, you can actually make your skills the way you do it. Like, in the beginning you can barely lift a garbage can. If you do that more often, you can lift a whole car. I am not kidding. In the beginning, you know, when you start, you don't run, you don't run really fast. But if you keep on training, it's like there's an RPG element in it. You can walk faster than a car. Yeah, this game is done so well. Sure, I do have to say there are better sandbox games. This is a sandbox game at its finest. But the whole system about making yourself better, you know, it's just great. It's not going to be a favorite of mine. I kind of enjoyed it, but I even finished it. You know, but I was really glad that I was just done with it. But technically speaking, it's a really great game. I'm not saying it should be in the top 100 best games ever. But it's a good game. What can I say? Next up is a game I haven't played yet. It's Dead or Alive 2. Forgive me, I'm so sorry. Dead or Alive 4. I've played Part 2 on the PlayStation 2 a lot. I got rid of the game. Don't know why, actually. Maybe because I want the Dreamcast version a lot more. So I sold the PlayStation 2 version, I think. Yeah, you know, I know the whole controversial thing behind Dead or Alive 4 is because of the women. But it's a really good video game besides that, you know. And I know a lot of gamers are saying that, oh, it's all about the beautiful women. I mean, Part 5 came out and it really looks great. And the women even looked more like humans. I mean, here the women look more like game characters, and in Part 5 they actually start to look like more humans, and they start to look more realistic. But Part 4, I haven't really played it yet, but it's a really great fighting game overall, even without the women, and you get these male characters who are also freaking awesome. The reason why I think Part 3 was also pretty good, but the reason why I think Part 2 is really technically one of the best fighting games ever created is because of its combos. It's because of destructible area. You can actually, you know, fight, and you have these, you know, you could smash through someone through the wall, you know, and they go outside and they drop, and it's really cool. And Part 4 actually does the whole thing. Part 2 is a lot better than Part 1. So yeah, and part 4 is also a very good fighting game. I haven't really played it yet, so I'm gonna do it. Maybe I'm gonna do a playthrough of the game. Who could say? Next up is a game who's a big favorite of mine, and I think almost everybody likes this game. Technically, it's also one of the best games ever, and I'm not kidding. It's that good. It's Oblivion, The Elder Scrolls. You have a PlayStation 3 version, but I like my game's original, where it was first 4. But The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion is a seriously fantastic game. You get so many side quests. For its time, it looked great. Fantastic gameplay. Once you start playing, this is a perfect game. When you are on vacation, and you're just like me, you like to play video games on your vacation instead of, going on vacation. This is a perfect game, just like Skyrim. I've already showed you Skyrim in my PlayStation 3 collection, which is just as fun as this one. This game is less in terms of, it's not less. It's more like in graphics. Maybe there are more in. Maybe the side quests are a bit more diverse. Who could say? I don't know. But this game, I love it just as much, and I agree. Skyrim is a bit more fun, but that doesn't say. Technically speaking, they're both fantastic. Another game, and which is also a personal favorite of mine. This is Fable 2, and I've been saying technically a lot of times, so I'm so sorry. I just keep on saying it. I really want to give you the idea what I think about it. But Fable 2 is a huge favorite of mine. I uploaded a video a few months ago when I showed you my Fable 3 Collector's Edition, the Limited Collector's Edition box. Yeah, this is part 3. It's not in my pile. I put this game on the side, on the shelves. Fable 2, I liked it. I liked it a little bit better than Fable 3, but with Fable 3 I have like a cool limited collector's edition which still looks great. It's still like new, and part 2 just as much. I bought this game new when it came out, and maybe they have released Fable The Journey some time ago. I'm not so sure about the whole name. It's with the Kinect. I'm kind of disappointed, but maybe they're going to make a part 4 one day. I seriously hope so. I seriously hope that they will not stick to this whole Kinect thing. But for now we've also Fable 1 for the original Xbox, but I'm going to show you that in my Xbox original collection video. But Fable 2 is my all-time favorite Fable. I really enjoyed myself with this game, and Fable 3 was also a lot of fun. I really enjoyed myself with this game, and this was actually this wasn't actually the last time when I bought an expensive limited collector's edition. I did that with Mass Effect, because Mass Effect is also in this pile. We'll get to it soon enough. But I really thought this looked cool, and I've already showed you in a different video what was inside and how it all kind of worked, because you actually lose this, and then you have this awesome looking book. Mostly I don't care about materialistic looks, but this looks really cool. But I've learned my lesson, so. Next up is a sports game. It's FIFA 09. Yeah, I never got really into it. FIFA 09 is really a great soccer game. It really got better after this. I don't know, I started playing FIFA again right after 10. I played FIFA 99, and my last game before FIFA 09 was FIFA 2003. That was definitely the last time when I played FIFA. No, not really the last time, but FIFA 2003 was the last one before FIFA 09. And I haven't played FIFA 09 either. I got this from a friend, and he gave it me as a gift. And this is really this is really a good game to have in your collection. And it really looks great. And it was really a step forward compared to 08. Really it is. It really was a huge step forward. I mean, not only did the game look, better, it played better. And it had a lot more, it had a lot more modes and stuff like that. So this was really a great game to have in your collection. If you like soccer games, it's also pretty good to have. But you have FIFA 10, FIFA 11, FIFA 12, so, Those games are a bit better. Next up are two games that I might never play. Yeah, I've played. Yeah, I've played the third one. It's Forza Motorsport 2 and 3. I've played 3 for a week and I got kind of bored with it because you only had these races. And I realized these games are only for the fans. I haven't played Part 2. I didn't have Part 2 too long ago actually, but I think a year ago I bought this game and. It really looks great, and it's really a great game for its time. But Part 3 is actually even a little bit better. It looks great, it plays great. Technically, sorry, there I go again. This is excellent for racing fans. I mean, my younger brother really liked this game. I mean, personally, you do a season, and then you race these races. That's all you really do in the game, and I guess that's what racing fans want. Just race. So yeah, I think if you are a huge fan of these realistic racing games where you can tune your car, this is perfect. It's not really for me. It really gets bored pretty quickly. Next up is a game that's okay. It's Fuel. Why do I have it in my collection? Well, I had some fun with it, so why'd sell it? I've played this game a couple of times. You have a couple of modes. It's fun, I guess. But there's a massive world. And I really had some trouble going through these worlds. It's not perfect by all means, but it is a pretty fun racing game. It's also a racing game. This is the kind of racing game I like, just like the next one I'm going to show you guys. It's the kind of racing game I really like, but this game got bored after some while. I really can't really explain it, but at least I gave it a try, huh? Next up is a game that's actually personally fun to me, but it's not really a super good game. It's Full Auto, one of my worst Xbox 360 titles. Yeah, what can I say? It was really unrealistic. It doesn't really have super tracks. It's not great AI, but it's just so much fun. I really enjoyed myself with this game, and after a time it got a little bit too hard. I got bored with it, so I stopped playing it. But maybe I'm gonna do it in the future. Who could say? Yeah, it really doesn't look all that great. This is a very mediocre game, and personally, I had a lot of fun with it because you can smash. You can actually use, Mario Kart style. When you go over a certain object, you can actually use missiles or a boost and stuff like that. So it's actually a combat racer type thing, but not really combat. More like a racing game where you can actually shoot each other and stuff like that. Next up is another classic, people. This is Gears of War. Yes, this game is another game that I personally had no fun with. I finished it because I just didn't know better. I mean, I played this game in a time when I really wanted to finish every game I had. It was stupid because if a game is not fun anymore, just stop playing it, and Gears of War was no more fun anymore. I really didn't get the story either, but maybe, Gears of War have a lot of fans, and I really understand. It's a really great game, but it's not really for me. But, the whole action-adventure, the whole covering system has been done in this game. This game is actually a revolution in video gaming, so. And it really looked great for its time, because this was a pretty early Xbox 360 title, just like Oblivion. So, yeah. It really shows how good looking the graphics were and stuff like that. Another game that I don't have the original version for, it is Grand Theft Auto Episodes from Liberty City. I don't have GTA 4. I've played GTA 4 for the PlayStation 3. It's another controversial game, and these games are just as controversial. But you have like 2 downloadable contents on this disc. You have The Lost and Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony, and these are really great downloadable games, and it's pretty fun. Sometimes something happens in GTA 4, and it's really weird how things happen in this game, because sometimes, as Niko Bellic in GTA 4, you have to work with Johnny, the character from The Lost and Damned. And it's really cool. But as a downloadable content itself, it's a really great game, and both of them are actually pretty good with storyline and of course your GTA 4 gameplay and graphics. Next up is a game who's popular online with the multiplayer, but I never do multiplayer. I mean, back in the day when I played multiplayer online on the PC with Unreal Tournament, Viet Cong. I'm not so sure if you remember that game. Halo 3, yes. I don't have part 2, but I have part 1 for the original Xbox. And what can I say? It's a very good first-person shooter, you know. Online, it's supposed to be very good, so I guess it's good. It's just a great game to have in your collection. And what can I say? I made it to mission 6 or 7 or something, and then I stopped playing. It was you know, it was fun, I guess. You know, it wasn't too much fun. I'm not a huge Halo fan, and you know, it was fun. Nothing too special. Next up is a game that I bought originally. It's L.A. Noire. Yes, who forgets those face animations? It's been done pretty well. But overall, it's a pretty good sandbox game with mysteries, with murders, investigations. You know, you have a storyline and you investigate murder. Sometimes you have to do, you know, side stories. You can collect side quests. You can collect memories and stuff like that to see the story evolve. And I really say this is a pretty good game. It's not as good as you might expect, but it's technically a pretty good game. And then I said the word technically again. I am sorry about that, guys. But personally, I really enjoyed this game, and I love the leading character who I try to, you know, when my younger brother gets over in the weekends, I sometimes try to talk like the leading character. And he sounds a little bit like this, but he doesn't really. I sound more like Sean Connery when I actually say his voice like suspicious. I really like to say that. I really like to say that word like suspicious. You know, every time when I play the game, and my younger brother says like, "Oh, you sound a lot like a George." You sound a lot like Sean Connery, but you know, I try to sound like Cole Phelps. L.A. Noire, and the next 3 games are seriously. Final Fantasy, when I was a kid, Final Fantasy was my all-time favorite series. The box is just a little bit broken. It is the Mass Effect series. It has turned into one of my all-time favorite series ever. I got ecstatic, you know, I wasn't really sure about this one, but when I played it on a convention, I was sold immediately. It wasn't new at the time when it was on a convention, it was just out, but I was like, whoa, this game is awesome, so I bought it, and I finished this game like 5 times. I am such a huge fan of the first one. It is one of my all-time favorites, not the favorite, but it will make the top 5. Mass Effect 2... It's been improved, it's been better, it's even better than Part 1. It's not as fun. It's just as fun, but of course Part 1 is still Part 1, you know. And Part 2, I love this game just as much. Not only do I like the RPG elements, not only do I like the side quests and talking to people, I just like the whole relationship you can build with your crew. You can do personal missions for them. I almost played the Paragon character, but the last time I finished Mass Effect 1, I was like the renegade character, where you know, just turn into a total mean, grumpy guy. And there was a whole different experience, so maybe Part 2. And the great thing about the whole Mass Effect series, you can import your save file at the end of Mass Effect 1, when you finish the game, you can actually save the game. You can import that to Part 2, and the choices you made in Part 1 will reflect on Part 2. That's really great. I really think that's a great innovating way. And I even have Part 2, yes, the special edition. The Mass Effect Collector's Edition, Mass Effect 3. And of course, the same thing with Part 2, you can actually use that save file on Part 3. And, you know, everybody talks about, you know, that the ending is a little bit like, meh, you know. I kind of agree with them. And there has been a free downloadable content for this game, when it actually shows a different ending. Or, not really a different ending, but more like an ending that try to satisfy the gamer's needs. And, you know, I wasn't really, you know, I wasn't, you know, I expected a whole lot worse when I saw the ending, and I expected, you know, a lot worse things. And when I saw the ending, I was like, you know, it's not really a great ending, but... And they're still going to continue making Mass Effect games, but for now we just have to do it with the downloadable content. It's also online, but I don't care about the online. Like I said, I'm more like a single player gamer, and Part 3 has a great single player. This is my favorite one till now. I even like this a little bit better than Part 1 and Part 2. So yeah, I really enjoyed myself with, and the whole box just falls apart at the moment, but that's okay because I don't know. Next up is a game that I haven't played yet. It's Midnight Club. There's some dust on it. It's Midnight Club Los Angeles. Yeah, this game is actually pretty good. It's actually a pretty good game. What can I say about this game? It's a very good game made by Rockstar, the creators of GTA. I haven't played this game yet, but my younger brother finished this game like 2 or 3 times. It's unbelievable. But yeah, this game is actually a very good game. You know, I even uploaded a glitch of this game of Midnight Club Los Angeles. I even uploaded a glitch, and yeah, but you know, this game is actually very good. You don't really get out of your car or you get from your bike. You just drive, and that's where you keep on doing. What you do is you do races. You can actually upgrade your car. You can actually tune your car and stuff like that. You can make it faster, you can make it stronger, stuff like that. And yet again, this is not really a game for me because this is a realistic racer. It's not really realistic in terms of Forza Motorsport and Gran Turismo, but you can actually tune your car and you can actually then drift and stuff like that. So that's not really for me. I'm not really a person that like to play these race games, and I like Mario Kart, but this. Nah, not so much. But maybe it's fun because I haven't played it yet. But I've seen my younger brother, finish this game a lot of times. So, yeah. The next game is NBA 2K7. Yes! Why do I have this game? Well, to be fair, the only basketball game I seriously played was NBA Jam for the Super Nintendo. So, when I get to my Super Nintendo collection, I will show you guys that. The reason why I have this, well, my friend had this, and I was like, whoa, this is an awesome game. I really enjoyed myself. And then I bought it from him, and since then, it is really dusty. Whoa, sorry about that. Ever since then, I was sold. NBA 2K7. I seriously, back in the day I liked it, but I haven't played it since. I don't know, it's kind of sad. You can make your own character, you have like your own storyline, but it's 2K7, so it's like it's many years ago. So I think I bought this from him in 2008. Maybe I should try it again. Who could say? NBA 2K7, of course, the NBA 2K series has been one of the best basketball series ever created. You have like a few good basketball series, like NBA Jam has like a few games in its collection, but whatever. But this game, this series, the NBA 2K series, has been one of the best, and it's still the best basketball series ever. It's realism, it's perfection, it's looks. The next game on the list, I have Part 2 on the Dreamcast, now on the original Xbox. It is Project Gotham Racing 3. Yet again, the same story with Forza Motorsport, is that it's a realistic racing game. Technically, it's a great racing game, and then I said the word technically again. It's really a great racing game, but it's not really for me. And why do I have it in my collection? Well, it's a good game, so why not? And it really is a good game. I'm not saying that it's a bad game, but it's just not really not for me to begin with. Quake 4. Hey, I finished this game not too long ago. Well, I didn't really finish it. My Xbox 360 did a little bit weird with this game. Other games he had no problems with, but this game did a little bit weird after some while. And my Xbox 360 was not really fond of this game. At least of the CD, I guess. What can I say? It's a very mediocre first-person shooter. I played this game. Recently, but this game, even when this game came out, it was pretty mediocre. It wasn't like, well, it wasn't really like all that much big. But let me tell you something. Even though the game is cliche, and it's not perfect. By all means, it's not perfect. You know, it has its issues, but it's a relaxing shooter. I mean, you have like these constant encounters with the enemy. You know, you kill them, and then you go to the next area, and then there are enemies again. It's pretty linear game, but it's a relaxing game. I mean, the controls are pretty well done, and you have a whole bunch of weapons, so there is some fun to be had from this game, and I really enjoyed myself because it's a very relaxing first-person shooter. It is the worst Quake, let me tell you that. Next up is a game. That's another controversial game. Yes, it is Resident Evil 5. Yes, of course with zombies and stuff like that. I seriously enjoyed myself with this game. This game is fun. I know fans aren't really... They don't really like this game. If it was called differently, people will say that this game was excellent. Because technically speaking, the game is very good. But because it's Resident Evil and it's different and it's not like it was supposed to be, then the game is a whole lot less. Which really makes sense, but on the other hand it doesn't. Because it really gets a treatment it doesn't deserve. Just like Final Fantasy XII. That game is underrated by the fans. And I'm a huge fan of Final Fantasy, but I see that Final Fantasy XII is fantastic. But because it doesn't look so much like Final Fantasy games, it gets a very low rating. There was a certain fan on YouTube, but I'm getting off track here, I'm sorry. Resident Evil 5, I really think if it was called differently, people would have been a lot more, praising this game. And this game is really good because there's a lot of stuff to do. There's fun gameplay. There's much to collect. You can buy your stuff. You can sell stuff. It's really a fun game. And it's also a pretty good game. Next up is another controversial game which might get your eyebrows up because I'm a Christian. This is Saints Row 2. I finished this game, had a lot of fun with because this game is the unrealistic version of GTA. GTA is realistic, has better writing and stuff like that. This game is just for the fun. And it shows. There is really a lot of fun to be had in this game. And there are, side missions to be done to get money, to get respect, to do storyline missions. You can actually build your own. Gang and stuff like that. But Saints Row 2 is truly a lot of fun, and I enjoyed myself with it. And maybe the graphics doesn't look all that great, but I love it. Next up is a game I also haven't played yet. It's Shaun White Snowboarding. What can I say? This is supposed to be a very good snowboarding game. But I haven't got around it yet, so maybe one day. But, Shaun White, it's supposed to be one of the best snowboarders ever, or something. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I'm not so sure if you can create your own character in this. It's not like SSX. I'm a huge fan of SSX 3, and I really like the series as well. Shaun White is supposed to be just that good, but there are a lot of good snowboard games in the history of snowboard, like 1080 Degree for the N64, this one, another one for the PlayStation 1 or PC or something, SSX, not to be forgotten. Shaun White Snowboarding is just as good, and I don't know, maybe I should give this game a try. Next up is Soul Calibur 4. I've already told you in my PlayStation 2 collection video, I've already told you guys that I like the Soul Calibur series. I really do. I like Part 1 for the Dreamcast. Yeah, I didn't like that game as much, but I like Part 2, and I especially like Part 3. And Part 4 is even more fun. It's not the best, technically. Sorry about that. It's not the best Soul Calibur, but this is the Soul Calibur I had the most fun with, and there's even a Part 5, so maybe I'm gonna buy that game, but I'm not in a huge hurry, because I always have this, list of games, and most games that are on the list will get off, because I'm not gonna pay full money for it, because I can't spend my money on games constantly, there are a lot more important things in life than just, video games. But sometimes there are a few games that are on the list, and Soul Calibur 5 was on the list, but I pulled it off, so maybe I'm going to buy it real cheap. But for now, I have Soul Calibur 4. This is Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas 2. I have Part 1 for the PlayStation 3, like I've already showed you if you watched it. And part 2 is you can actually it's an improvement. It has, you know, a little bit better graphics. It's not too much of an improvement because part 1 was a really great game. And the fun thing about this game, if you want to go online, you can actually upload your face and you can put it on a character, I think. I'm not so sure how it works, but this game is supposed to be a little bit better than part 1. And it's just a great game to have in your Xbox 360 collection. Next game is one of the best games ever created, and I'm not kidding. Not because I like it so much, but because it just is. It's UFC Undisputed 2009, and I've already showed you 2010 in my PlayStation 3 collection. This game is just fantastic. In presentation, in controls, it's almost a nearly perfect game. With a lot of titles, you can... I'm not so sure if you can create your own character. I don't know. But... yeah, I haven't been too much around it, but it's a really fun multiplayer as well, and yeah, it's just a great game to have. Another game that I have my questions about, if the game really should be in the collection, is Unreal Tournament for the Xbox 360. I think this is part 3, although I'm not 100% sure. It's a pretty good shooter. I'm not so sure. How good is this game online? Well, it got on some website. It got a high rating. So, it's supposed to be good. I haven't played it though, so maybe I should give it a try. But the single player is just like the multiplayer. So, I've played the first, part of the game, and it felt so much like a multiplayer. I am a fan of the first one. I've already showed you the game in my PC collection. I don't know. I still have to check this game out. Next up is a very underrated game. This is Viva Pinata, a very, very early Xbox 360 game. Technically, it's a pretty good game. I just couldn't, personally, I couldn't break through it. I really think this is a great game because a lot of people I know are really like, oh, this game is stupid because it's there's no violence in it. Seriously, some people think that video games are only violence. Unbelievable that people think that. But Viva Pinata is definitely not violent, and it's a pretty deep sim kind of game because you make your own garden with all these piñatas, creatures and stuff like that, and it's from the animated show. It's really a fun game, but I just couldn't get through it. No, because I think your garden is way too small to go all nuts, but it's not really a bad game. It's a fun game. Next up is another game that might be a bit controversial for a lot of you guys. This is The Witcher 2, Assassins of King, Enhanced Edition. The reason why I have the Enhanced Edition is not because I paid more for it, but I pre-ordered it. This was also a game that made it to the list, and this was a game that stayed on the list. Because this is really my type of game. It's like Mass Effect. You make your own choices in conversations. You train your game. I had a lot of fun with this game, I really do. This is my kind of RPG. And not because of all the slashing and the violence and stuff like that, but because of the whole leveling up system. And the battle is a lot of fun. But there are a lot of deep side quests in this game, and a lot of deep quests as well. And yes, there is a lot of nudity and a lot of, sexuality. But, I don't really play the game because of that. I play the game because the letters don't really... Never mind. I really like this game, and it's English. I thought it was Dutch, but it is English. And there is even a little booklet that comes with it. Dears of dears. I've already showed you guys the PC version I have of this game. So I kind of have the special edition, but not for Xbox 360. The reason why I bought this also for Xbox 360 was because it didn't work on my PC. It was, it was really beautiful, and I didn't know how it worked, stuff like that. But I bought it for the Xbox 360 so I could play it myself. It was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed myself. Next up, it's not the last game yet, but it is the last game in my official collection. This is a compilation disc of Xbox Live Arcade games. There is, let me see... Doesn't really say that. Oh, why not? There's Fusion Frenzy, is the name of the game. A Pac-Man game. Oh yeah, here. Feeding Frenzy, Luxor 2, Boom Boom Rocket, Uno, and Pac-Man Championship Edition. That was it. Yeah, those are the 5 games that are on the disc. I got this as a gift, so what can I say? And I had some fun with this, because I had a lot of fun with Feeding Frenzy, with Uno. Unbelievable. I had some fun with Luxor 2. I'm not so sure about Boom Boom Rocket. Oh well, but this is a very fun thing to have. There's not even a booklet inside of it. It's just the disc and the box itself. So that's actually pretty cool. Now for one more game that's not in my official collection because I don't know what to do with it. It's probably going to get in my collection. It's still 2 games I still have to play. It's the Indiana Jones, Lego Indiana Jones, and the Kung Fu Panda games on Xbox 360. Obvious. It's a bundle. It's a bundle disc. There are both the CDs in it. Here's the Indiana Jones CD, and here's the Kung Fu Panda CD. Well, it's under it, of course, and it's not in my official collection. I have put it on my. I'm going to show you that in a different video because I have different kind of piles that are not in my official collection. This game, either it's so much fun to put this in the collection, or it's not fun and I'm going to sell it, or I'm going to give it away if you guys are interested, of course, or other people are interested. But yeah, if this game is fun, because I don't see any reason to put it in my collection rather than it's fun. You know, if the game is fun, I'm going to put it in my collection. Other else, I don't know. Yeah, I think Lego Indiana Jones, the original Adventures, that's the full name, is fun. I think that game is going to be fun. So, yeah, maybe one day I will play that game. So yeah, that was my last Xbox 360 title I have in my collection. There's one game, but I borrowed it out to somebody. It is Spider-Man 3. Oh, so sorry about that. I told myself not to push it, but then again, I still push it. I have Spider-Man 3 for the Xbox 360. Obvious, name of the video. But I borrowed it out with to somebody, so I'm sorry about that. I can't show you that. Somebody still has it. And I had... no, I don't really have it. It's more of my younger brother, because my younger brother bought Forza Motorsport 4 for the Xbox 360. And he bought it, and because he didn't have an Xbox 360, he put that game in my collection, and I was like, oh, thank you, man. But he took it back because I think he has an Xbox 360 now, although I'm not 100% sure. So those are the games that I can't show you because of those reasons. So thank you so much for watching, guys. God bless you, and I'll see you guys with more gaming videos, with more collection videos. I'm sorry these videos take so long, but I got so much to show you guys. See you guys later with some more Gaming Christian. Goodbye now.